They can
Hello.
hear me. Hi, hello. Welcome to this new layout. What a
Whoa.
wonderful time to be alive.
Oh wow, it's pretty.
Thank you.
Wow,
I
that's
gave
a
up.
bold statement to say in this year of 2021. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, no, I gave up by the time it got to the point where I had to write our names in, and you can tell. Anyway, how is everyone doing in this fine day within an international pandemic?
Same as usual.
Yep.
Well,
Tired.
the world is still ending,
Yeah.
but you know,
It's the end of the world.
The question is it ending any quicker than it was previously? Why
No.
is the chat box not working? I know why it's not working.
Multiple
Talk
things
among
going
yourselves
on
while I fix this.
There's the chaos. We thought
Yeah.
we were prepared and we were.
Yep. Everything was going so well until we actually went live.
Yeah,
yep,
that's about right.
it do be like that.
Yeah.
So,
So.
I don't know why that
That's
isn't
awesome.
working. You've just got a nice Tudor picture to look at. That's what that is. Maybe it'll like appear in like a long time.
there's like a 30-minute delay.
It looks like we're telling the future.
We know what people are gonna say before they even say it. Oh no.
I don't know why that isn't working actually. Thanks, Ed. Thanks for the nice layout comment that isn't appearing on screen.
Were you expecting competence? Did you actually
Yeah.
come?
Did
This-
you come here for a functioning podcast? You know what we were literally saying before we went live. This is no longer about D&D, this podcast. We were literally saying before we went live how because Dave isn't streaming, this is the first time he has the opportunity to watch the chaos unfold live. So,
If you're watching, Dave,
Oh,
Welcome.
hello.
welcome to this.
evening traveller.
So, let's talk about D&D.
Oh
My
yes.
shoulder. I need to stop hunching over my computer and laptop and actually like maybe exercise. Anyway, what happened? Elturel, Seymour is once again relying on the other members of the crew to not get
Yep.
dead, which is dangerous.
Like,
What the fuck are we
how
gonna
many
do about
times-
that? We're
yeah.
too low level to deal with a fucking feeble mind right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. For context,
Oh yeah. Summary.
summary, we Seymour and Kaya had to fight off some cultists which were played by the other members of our I don't know what this was, other members of our D&D crew. Look, I am so cool. I am really down with the kids. I'm 21. What am I talking about? Anyway,
Anyway, cultists.
Yeah.
cultists. Yeah, so and as a result of Seymour not being able to not backchat the cult leader, he's had feeble mind placed on him. However, we are not at a high enough level to fix him.
Nope.
So
And it lasts 30 days. So.
he
Yep.
is broken. And he can't use
He
his
may
spells.
never.
He
and
can't fight.
He can't fight, and we got a big fight coming up. So
His
He may
sword
never
is-
speak to Snipe again.
Yeah. His sword is useless.
We don't know where his sword is as well.
Nope.
oh no,
Because
Ed.
you have to summon it, right? So it's probably not gonna show up.
Apparently, Ed's here because as a DM, he's here to hear the valuable perspective of players.
You might be in the wrong stream. I don't know if you were like
Valuable
Go-
is certainly a word to say.
Go back into the
looking for
D&D.
Vox Machina. This is not.
We don't. Yeah. I mean,
This is what the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I would also like to dispute his second point about us all being good people.
yeah, you don't know me. I murder people on my off day. really
Well,
hope
that was the end of CarpeDM.
Yeah.
I really hope there isn't like suddenly a murder in my little village on the south coast. And it's just
Just
like everyone
as you
looking
say
at
that.
me.
Like, Becca.
Whoops! I didn't mean to admit to a murder that I had nothing to do with.
That is what every murder will say.
Yeah.
It
Murder
wasn't me.
refuses words. Yeah.
So what is the plan with that? Are we just gonna leave him for a bit and see if we can just get someone to fix
I
him?
honestly
we-
don't know. Like, knowing Jenks, we might like make all of these plans about what the fuck we're gonna do for Seymour, and then actually the problem's gonna get like either fixed first thing in the next session
Yeah.
or dragged over. So basically, whatever we least expect is probably gonna happen with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to plan as Kaya, it'd probably be look for a healer in trio. If there's no healer in trio, then keep looking. Like maybe dump him in trio, send Reyna a message, and then leave. Potentially as like a last resort. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking because he's on the cards of Heartbuckler. Maybe in Heartbuckler there's a healer who can fix him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that would be extremely convenient for the fate
Yeah.
that the cards said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if
Kaya wants to go to Hardbuckler anyways, so she wouldn't object.
How are we gonna meet up again? Are we just gonna keep moving to Eldrell and hope that?
Yeah,
We had a plan, and then
I've forgotten
metagaming.
it.
Yeah, and metagaming backstage. Basically, Dave speaking on behalf of Jank said, "Yeah, that's not gonna work."
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I think that he said you could shave like a day or two off the journey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have it.
Normally, it's a 5-day travel, and if you cut it short, it's a 4-day travel. You can cut it back.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's
There's always
either
the tunnels.
either the tunnels or us just going down the route.
But how
What
would
does-
how would we find the entrance to it? Would we just have to get one of Reyna's many gods to?
Yeah, but I'm curious because Seymour, like as players we know, Seymour had a like follow the hag and a light, and Kaya got a lantern to only find the exit,
Mhm.
and we don't know if they're like we can go in blindly and we can travel around there for a day and not find anything, and
Yeah.
be there stuck in there for 4 days and not find anything because there's no way to lead us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Nothing.
I don't think it makes sense to go through the tunnels unless
No.
you send a message to Kaya and go, "Hey Kaya, can you lead us through the tunnels?" Then maybe, but that would take so much coordination over like the long distance that we're
Yeah.
at right now.
And
I
there
just
would
don't know
be.
if it's realistic.
Would Kaya even remember the exact? Because you were like, kind of like panic going through them. It wasn't like.
She has a map on her arm. She could
Yeah.
probably write it down.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I think it's
Fair
also I believe when you got the lantern, entrance opened up that wasn't there before, basically.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good
I
point.
believe Jenks described that like a route you went before you had the lantern. When you had the lantern and it opened up and it showed you basically an entrance to go through. So I believe the lantern had to do something with you finding the entrance
Yeah.
to what's
So
usually
I
a
think
dead end.
the only option here is just for Snipe to fucking book it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know, the only thing that would give us a little bit of an advantage going through the tunnels is the fact that Janks is playing an NPC called Artius, who A, has a lot of sending spells, and because he knows Kaya, means he could communicate if we run out of spells.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think Janks would be that,
Yeah.
he'd be that easy on us.
But the thing is, at the moment, Reyna and Hattie are coming back to
Subar.
Subar. Thank you. They're on their way back to Subar. So would they get to Subar, then have to turn around and go back to the tunnels?
Yeah, it's not practical, y'all. It's fun, but it's not practical.
Yeah.
Also, I want Hattie to go and mess with the people in shiny armor at the wherever the heck it was.
But the Black Abbey, I'm
Black
so
Abbey.
scared. I'm so scared of the Black Abbey. I just want to get the stuff and go. But the fact that Janks has placed these interesting characters and just think, oh no, he's gonna do something to waste time. He's gonna do something to waste Snipe's time and make me very angry.
Mm,
Yeah, I believe he placed it indeed. He
Yeah.
placed the Black Abbey to do something to mess with our heads, maybe.
Yeah, He's gonna use
Well,
hell.
I think
to
it's
advantage.
also just like extra world building, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he placed the Black Abbey there specifically to annoy us. I think the Black Abbey is just
Is there?
it was already there, and he used the opportunity to kind of fuck with Hera a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna be like our enemies anytime soon. I think they just exist to kind of world build that, like, you know, evil gods aren't seen as black and white evil in this society, which makes sense, right?
Maybe we have to talk to the half elf person in the rose garden.
Yeah.
What was her name? Like Temerity? Like we have to talk to her.
Half
Maybe
elf,
she'll
half
know.
halfling, I believe.
Yeah. Maybe we have to talk to her.
Half elf, Jesus, and half halfling.
So
I believe that
there are
she
half
was a mix.
halfling and a
We're
quarter
4
half
halves.
elf. What's the other half then? If there
She
only
is
a quarter.
she is a half elf and a half halfling. Jesus.
So half of
She's
her.
half-
A quarter elf,
She's not a full.
No.
quarter
She's
elf,
not her.
quarter human,
Wordplay,
a
okay.
half halfling.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Yes.
So wait, she's a third.
A quarter elf, a quarter human, and a half halfling.
Yeah.
She's just 3. Cool.
No.
Are you okay, Becca? Can you draw it for you?
Math is not my strong suit.
No. So yeah.
It was just the moment I was like, okay, so they're half a halfling. What's the and half a half elf,
half elf
which
and
makes them
half a
quarter
human.
elf and
Quarter human.
it,
You got this.
Basically, her parents went, "You're a half, and you're a half. Let's make a whole."
My lord.
That's
I love the way you said that. Of her parents said you're a half and you're a half, as if they got 2 people together and said, "Okay, you are making us a daughter."
Yeah, like merged together now.
It's designer baby.
Now kiss.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we should probably talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But no,
Well-
I want Hattie to go and mess some stuff up for them.
Oh, fuck. I'm so scared.
Yeah. I think when Reina arrives and maybe they start talking to her like what's going on, Reina will be very persistent to leave town immediately. Because she knows the others are 4 days ahead of us and we need to catch up, and Snipe is dying and we don't have time to hang around in the town.
I like the idea that Snipe is just gone when you guys arrive.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm sick of fucking waiting, man. I'm just gonna leave.
I'm a
Yeah.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh man, Elturel is getting. Oh, the road to Elturel, the campaign, not the city. Well, I guess the city is complicated as well, but the campaign is getting so complicated at the moment.
Yeah. Like as soon as we cross that bridge, it's like now there is no easy run now.
Apparently, Ed has just been invited to a D&D game, and he's making a Tortle Spore Sorcerer Bard.
Wow.
Damn.
That's cool.
I see a lot of like Tortle bards. Is that like a really good combination to?
I don't know.
What does being a Tortle give you advantage on? Because I know.
Gives you fucking crazy armor. That's all.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
know.
okay.
Would it be
So as like a
maybe high wisdom as well?
That makes sense, I
That's-
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Turtle.
yeah, that will probably.
The wise old.
Discord that you did well.
Your strength score increases by 2 and your wisdom score increases
Go
by
on,
1.
have a little braggy moment.
I'm on a podcast right now.
Braggy moment, because you're a good one.
My sister would like me to tell you that I have just been accepted into a university.
Woo!
Yay!
Congrats!
See, everyone's happy.
Congrats.
It's
Thank
fantastic.
you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm well proud of you.
Thanks.
No, you can put it in the Discord and tell all of your uncles and brothers and aunties.
My uncles?
Yeah, because they're all like 10 years older than you a lot of the time. They may as well be your uncle. And be like, woo, I did well. Because woo, you did well.
Thank you.
Right, love lots.
Love you too.
Have fun.
Supportive sisters. Supportive sister, actually.
Oh, Poke Your Eyes Out Games also says that turtles as a race love storytelling, and that's what makes them good bards.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
That's good.
okay.
Yeah. I feel the
Another,
need to
another
give you more
special appearance from Becca's sister.
Yep.
Yeah,
Give her a round
basically.
of
The thing is, it's not like I've just started applying for unis. I went to uni for 2 years and then COVID happened, so I'm going to a uni that's closer to home. But I have to redo my second year.
Yeah.
Anyway, love the aggressive.
You're in a university. That's
Yeah.
worth a celebration.
I love the aggressive, supportive sister thing. Thank you for the
Back through
congratulations.
the door.
everyone.
Celebrate. There's something to celebrate.
I'm
I feel
proud
like
of you.
there's Weirdly, not that much to talk about in the campaigns we ran because like a lot happened, but like not a lot. Like
We did a lot, but not in the progression of the story.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, we did get arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is right. Yeah, that's Crimson Petal. We did.
How much are you guys? I feel like I want to give a spoiler for this because Dave messaged me something which I thought was very interesting and I think is a really interesting talking point. But I don't want to.
We usually
spoil-
forget what we talk about on these podcasts,
Yeah.
so
True.
just go
And I
for it.
think we're
Does it relate to your character's backstory
No.
or
Yeah.
the? Yeah, I think it should be fine then, right?
Yeah, and I also
Yeah.
think we as players can separate
Yeah, like,
the
I
knowledge
think-
of our characters with
I think,
with
like,
our knowledge.
We're capable enough to not,
Yeah.
you know.
Fuck it up.
Yeah. So I got a message from Dave saying that part of the sword that I have, it being
Therapy
magical,
sword.
possessed with the ghost of your boy,
Therapist boy.
therapist boy, means that when it's been like taken off me, I'll try and find how he worded it, but it's as part of the curse of the sword, your number one priority is to get that specific sword back. It's basically like you don't feel complete without it now.
Oh, it's
Uh-oh.
cursed.
Now it is your therapist.
Well, we
Yeah.
already knew that it was cursed.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like an additional
Yeah.
like layer to the curse, basically.
So the question is,
Abandonment issues.
I've been abandoned. Yeah, so Kia's just gonna drop you guys if it means that she gets the sword back because she's just been attacked again by one of you guys
Fair enough.
for no reason. In
This
her
feels like deja vu, like back to fucking Lost Beyond Cruel Tides, where we were all stuck in a cell and Keat just fucked off.
Is that
Yeah.
out? At least
Yeah,
Keat
but-
came back though. Keat came back for you guys.
Mhm. I'm curious. Did Kia see the attack of Theo very personal, or is it also like she saw she was in the like she was grappled by the creature and it was just something to get you out of the grapple?
Well, she was grappled, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, instead of
Thunderwave.
pulling her out, just attacking the beast, so that she can get out herself, or so that she can be pulled out. Theo casted Thunderwave, which in Kia's eyes, she doesn't do any magic. She doesn't really get it. Thunderwave was cast only on her. It hurt her more than and gave her more damage than any of the things that we were fighting gave her. And then she was pushed into the water because of it, and it didn't affect the little crittery thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as Kia is like concerned, it was a case of I'm getting you out, but I also want to hurt you at the same time.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean,
why
that-
she was
that
like,
is what
if
it
you
was.
want to fight, if
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
deal damage to me, let's just have a fight.
Come on, No.
Because seriously, like Theo did more damage to Kia than anything else in that fight.
And he was the only one who didn't take damage.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we nearly had a TPK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that to
Where?
do? Did you do death saving throws, Naomi?
Neela was out for like a really short amount of time. I don't think
Yeah.
they even did like a single death saving throw.
No, I think you went out on the Ankhax turn, and Annie's turn was right after that, or something. Or 2 turns
Yeah.
after that. So I think it wasn't that saving throws, just that.
Listen, Neela's gonna go down a lot in this campaign, alright?
Yeah. You're
They'll-
not
they'll be
bothered at the
okay.
moment. You're just like, this will happen like another 5 times until something bad actually happens.
Yeah.
That was quite frustrating though, I will admit, because the plan was to get way out of any of these creatures like ranges, and then because like almost all of like I built Mila to be a at range like wizard, so
Yeah.
like they never actually have to get into combat. They can stay out of it throughout the entirety of it. So I was just gonna take the opportunity attack, run away far enough, and then like use my spells, you know, and be behind people so they couldn't re-enter into my range.
Yeah.
But then like it had the fucking grapple.
Yeah.
I was like,
Instant
shit.
grapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instantaneously, like, nope, you're staying here. Do you think that's a good argument for maybe inserting like small amounts of melee fighting into Mila?
Maybe, but melee fighting is just not practical for them because they go down in like 1 or 2 hits if they're in melee.
Yeah. But just as like a self-defense last ditch effort.
Maybe.
Do you have a dagger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe get them some sort of training with a short sword or a dagger or...
It almost makes more sense to just use like fucking Scorching Ray and take the disadvantage at that point.
Yeah, that's true. How's your cat, Carmen?
She's
I
chittering.
assume that's what you're...
Yeah, she's chittering.
That's adorable.
I think she's dreaming.
Can
Yeah, I
we have
think
some
she's
cat
okay.
cams? It's the
Okay.
time of the podcast where I demand pets. Oh, little bean.
Oh.
Hold up. Let me just... Sure.
Aw.
She's dreaming, I think.
Oh, I want a cat. Puppy.
Yeah, smooth. Always. There we go.
Beautiful, beautiful. That was everything I have ever wanted. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Shadow Blade is a great spell to get a magical blade that you have proficiency with. They constantly bounce around like clouds with teeth. I want a cloud with teeth.
Who doesn't want a cloud with teeth? So I can see that all of the brain cells have left the chat all simultaneously.
The reason I'm being so quiet is because my doorbell's just rung and there's a car outside my house and a man's eerily staring at me. So
Do you
I
want
don't
me
know
to
whether
call someone? I
Maybe.
can drive
Need
for
help?
5 hours and get to you if you want.
I'll be back. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, call the police.
Okay. I don't know where you live, but okay.
Where?
Yeah.
Where do you...
Text us! Text
Give
us!
yourself, you need to dox yourself.
To save yourself in this moment, you need to dox yourself. Thank you for the bit. That's so
thanks.
generous.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
My wife is
yeah.
a dog groomer, and sometimes they look like rainbows with teeth. I'm guessing your wife adds like pet safe color, not just natural dogs with.
Yeah, of course.
I'm assuming, not
Yeah.
just.
I think you can assume that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I think
I think-
this is the end of Soph. I think we've just had
Yeah.
the last moment
5
of
minutes.
I've lost all of my brain cells.
Yeah,
So,
can we
how long have we been live for?
Like half an hour, man. Half an
It's
hour
bad, you
exactly.
guys. It's not good.
Let's okay. What can we talk about? Let's
How
okay.
is everybody's characters in Crimson Petal feeling about being ambushed and taken prisoner? Let's start with that.
Kia is kind of, because it was a case of the sword saying, I think you need to like surrender on this one, just like let them have it. And then because Kia with her soldier background, she kind of noticed that they were highly trained and they were used to doing this, that there wasn't really much kind of leeway room for arguments or whatever. You can eat the die.
Okay, that's food safe. That's food safe die.
Actually, the dog die is so great. I use it on my mohawk.
That's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Note to
Okay.
self. Okay. What was I talking about?
About
What
Kia's
are brain cells?
highly trained goblins and orcs that attack us.
So she's kind of in a place where she doesn't see any
room for improvisation.
Yeah, and like this was kind of like what was going to happen, you know? Like she doesn't see that it stays vibrant for months. Oh. She doesn't see that there could have been any other way around this. It was, we took this path and therefore we got captured. The only way we wouldn't have gotten captured is if we didn't come this way. I think Sopha's dead.
Yep. It's been literally 3 minutes, so...
A friend of mine
there they are.
uses shampoo
There they
for
are.
horses because it's so heavily tested. Hey,
Okay.
Soph. A friend of Tom's uses shampoo for horses because it's so heavily tested.
It's understandable, though.
I
'cause
get
the
it, yeah.
The shampoo and conditioner for horses is, like, to get, like, pretty nasty tangles out of their fur.
Yeah.
So...
And apparently if you use dog dye, it stays vibrant for months. I didn't expect this to be the direction with which this podcast takes. But...
I predicted where on earth the conversation would go while I was gone. I didn't expect it to be this.
So you're not dead? Anything interesting?
No, I'm not dead. It's as somebody who's come to see the fence, which I don't know if that's code.
I just don't have the image of someone going, "It's a fence, aight, thanks mate." Turning around and leaving.
It's just I've come about the fence. I'm like, okay, there's a fence.
Do you need
I want
anything
a
from me?
ballot.
Hello? Okay, that's sure.
What's
I
everyone's
saw it,
favourite
don't
class? You know what? That's a really good question, Tom.
History.
I'm gonna...
That's it. Cut it. We have to just end.
No,
Let's just end it here.
we can't keep going like this. It's just too much. It's
We
too
can't go
much.
on like this.
Bards are fun. Although it's hard not to play them in a stereotypical way, it's hard to find like an interesting new way to play them. I also like rogues because stabby.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm enjoying playing a monk so much, and I
Nice.
miss it. I miss it so much when I'm playing Kia. Like, being a fighter barbarian is fun, it's great, wonderful, great for the character. However, playing a monk, just being able to hit shit, oh,
Yeah, without any like borders or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I think monks are really dope. I've played one for just a little bit in Orb, because we got switched, like body switched in
Yeah.
Orb.
Yeah.
And also I played one in the Ghostbusters. That was a fun one. But yeah, monks are just fun.
Yeah.
I
never played
really
Artificers, but try it.
enjoy artificers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like
enjoy
Artificers.
playing Claire Hugh. It's just so much fun, man, because like it gives you such interesting like RP opportunities that aren't, and like combat opportunities that aren't necessarily spellcasting or are like a modified version of spellcasting. And like the abilities to just use all tools at all times is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say Artifice is quite fun. But like
Mm.
them probably ahead of wizards because I just like being a wizard. Just because I like being a know-it-all. He's very highly intelligent, easy to deduct things. I'm not really into fighting, so I'm just like, here's a fucking spell, fuck you. I'm going to do something else.
I think, like, for me, I think, like, I enjoy playing spellcasters the most when when you have the opportunity to get creative with the spells. Like, if you're just standing there and you're just, like, throwing fireball all the time, or you're just doing this one thing constantly, like, it's one way of playing a spellcaster, and there can be, like, story reasons behind it, but bye.
Okay. Well,
This
But
podcast is good,
keep
so-
your train of thought. Keep it.
Keep going, keep going,
Keep
keep going.
talking.
Brain cell? What's...
Just keep talking.
Naomi took it, just try to find it again.
Think I have a brain cell. We have one
Come back
brain
here with
cell
the
between
brain
the
cell.
four of us. Gotta pass it round. Look, it's a long journey to get the brain cell from America to England. It's a long way,
Yes.
man. Netherlands to England is fine, but anyway, brain cell.
Spellcasting.
Spellcasting.
Yeah, when you can
getting
get
creative with
creative
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
kind of do interesting things and do things in a way that maybe not that they haven't been done before,
I'm okay.
What is happening? This isn't even our normal level of chaos. This is a special level of chaos where we don't even know what's going on.
No.
Yeah, we're not necessarily like we haven't been done before, but like a way in which the spells weren't specifically designed to be used. I'm not saying break the game, but
Take advantage of the things that weren't specified in the rules, basically.
yeah, and kind of, you
like
know, if
heat
you're
water inside
Try
someone's
to
body.
try to push the limits
Yeah.
of the spell.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for
And not
wording
break
that
it.
so much better than I was.
It's okay. I think I quite enjoy playing cleric, but I feel like because I chose the light domain for the cleric for Reyna, I feel like it's kind of limited right now. Because I feel like she's a very combat-based character, but we don't have a lot of combats right now.
You
So-
could sit down with another god. Go find another god.
Well, I was
Life
thinking.
is short. Get 5 gods.
Yeah, get back the dwarf boy.
Well, I was thinking maybe because if she's going to follow Lilith, she'll probably be a ward class or the war domain or a trickery domain. She'll change it up, and I think trickery is more her style. But yeah, clerics are pretty fun to play if you have I play Reyna more like an RP character than really a combat character right now, even though she has a combat domain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I enjoy barbarians also a lot. It's just fun. And Blood Hunter, it's just fun.
Yeah, I'm curious about Blood Hunter, but I can't think of a way in which I could play it that isn't, because like even if you haven't seen many Blood Hunters being played, like you can see where like the stereotypical character would go, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with Rascal though. I'm trying to mix it up. I talked about Dave maybe going multiclassing into monk, or even rogue.
Ooh,
So
that's fun. Yeah,
But,
no, Blood Hunter's really fun though. I use spells cleverly. I can read English constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the focus for my spell bard is odd spell usage. I love the idea. I don't know whether this is where your bard is going with it, but I love the idea of like a wizard who has been taught all of these spells but kind of didn't quite get them. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I assume this is how you use the spell, and it's not the tiki
Only knows
music.
a spell by name, and it's just like, I'm not sure what it does.
yeah, I feel like that's pretty fun to play a bard, to be honest. Yeah, to just mess around with like where they got their spells from.
Who they stole the spell from.
Yeah. You okay, Becca?
Yeah, I'm just trying to read, and there's also tiki bar music going on in my head, and it's like lift.
The sentence is
elevation.
too loud.
It's just the static's too loud in my brain. A teller of stories as opposed to a shitter of posts.
Yeah.
What's to say they aren't the same thing?
Yeah.
Nothing is real anyway. Okay.
But yeah, we were talking about Crimson Petal before this.
We
I
were.
believe.
How are
Yeah.
you guys feeling about being captures? That's what the question was originally from Naomi, who appears to have been collecting all of the spare brain cells.
Jesus. Yeah, Rascal's pissed, but he won't show it. He will probably try to talk his way out of it or fight his way out of it.
Boy's not concerned because boy can easily break out and can break everyone else out.
I think
This ain't his first jail rodeo.
I think Boy is gonna be a vital piece of
Yep.
like.
I feel
Jesus.
like
Let's
English.
try and play him well.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like Dave has like specifically tried to like give us an obvious way out because we're idiots, you know? He's like, you still have the rhino. The rhino.
Use it.
That's the-
Yeah, but one thing, maybe they took the monkey wrench. So
yeah,
how would you activate the rhino? Maybe you need to find the manual button
yeah.
on
They
the
took away
rhino
the whistle.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Like
they took away the whistle for the pocket. So
Yeah.
But
So
Once you
I
try to whistle. And then someone just reveals, boy can't whistle. So we're
Oh.
fucked. Luckily he's an arts professor, so right tool for the job I can easily summon
yeah,
like,
true.
lockpicks. So I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just give me an hour.
I think it's either help like getting the rhino to help us break out, or getting thieves' tools and trying to pick the lock and sneak out.
Yeah.
It's one of those two. Or talk our way out. Just say, get us the fuck out of here. We're just traveling through. We don't want any business. Just let us go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they probably want something from us though.
Yeah,
You know?
it's obviously going to be a favour thing where it's like, we've got this shit going on, and we'll fully release you and get rid of all your crimes if you just do this.
Did I read the message right in which Dave was talking to Janks about how to make this campaign work?
Yeah. He dropped it on Twitter.
Scared. I'm scared. The fact that
Wait, what was the message?
Jesus. Bless
So
you.
we were literally just talking about how people mute themselves to burp and sneeze on Zoom.
Yeah, but the sneeze comes out of nowhere.
I thought it was gone. He just fucking snuck up on me.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
Sorry.
perfect.
Wow. This
Yeah.
podcast is entering a new level of chaos. I
Yeah.
hope Dave is watching this. I hope he understands what happens when he abandons the show on this channel.
Yeah, this is what happened.
But yeah, basically Dave tweeted that he's talking with Janks, like how to improve the campaign and doing, let me look up the tweet. Like improving the campaign and trying.
He likened it to
dropping
him being
holes.
like a prophet speaking to a god. A
Yeah.
prophet receiving visions from an angry god.
Yeah. Let me see.
No, I'm kind of scared about that because, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Janks is like this DM god who likes fucking with us for no reason other than he can. So, I know it may be chaos, but you're fun and have interesting things to say. Has said no one ever about the things I burble on about.
Yeah, Janks is just, I don't know, it's hard to really talk about Janks.
He's a
Like,
mastermind.
yeah, because he'll listen to this and then he'll take advantage of our praise.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, me and Sir Jenks coming up with new ideas to mess with my campaign's players, and then this give.
Oh yeah, the fucking, oh no.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool, so that's
fucked in
concerning.
both campaigns.
Yep.
Beautiful,
Well,
beautiful.
Dave's making the campaign based on actual D&D lore, whereas Janks is making up some stuff along with D&D lore. So Janks
Yeah.
is
That scares
well
me.
versed in the D&D world.
Yeah, and I
It
think
all
Dave is trying
scares
to
me.
achieve the same sort of level, like throwing in his own mix. Because the stronghold he said after stream, the stronghold we approached isn't there in the original map, so he created it himself.
We're
Yeah.
going to homebrew territory. Brace
Yep.
yourselves.
Oh boy.
Because he thought.
Anyone else have immense fear?
Always. About what specifically?
Yes.
But life.
All right. Good to know.
I don't know. I have fear going into Eltra, but I have no fear going into Crimson Petal. I don't know why.
I feel
It's-
I think for me,
Maybe it's just because it's Dave. Just like,
Yeah.
I gladly tell him to go fuck off.
for me, like
Just
I've
come
been,
at me, bitch.
Try it.
for me, it's a case of like I've been with Hattie for longer than I have with Kia. So if Kia dies, it's a case of okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll roll another character then. If Hattie dies, I will be sobbing.
Same here.
Yeah.
I also think that because Janks is more of a storyteller than really like trying to give us fights every session and trying to mess with us. He's trying more to get us like to an emotional level if someone dies. He tries
Yeah,
to
that's
mess with her.
something- I think I mentioned this before, but the way that Jenks was capable of taking these characters that we made for a one shot, and personally that I had very little connection to, and I was like, I made this in like fucking 2 minutes, you know,
Mhm.
just for a one off because I wanted to try some interesting whatever. And he made us really, really care about these characters and like their stories and where they were coming from in the span of like what has it, 50 episodes.
Yep.
Is really, really impressive because like the way that he focuses on the way that he tells the story and the way that he focuses on the characters is so interesting and unique. And it's really fucking effective. Like I don't even really know how he did that, where it came to a place where now I would be so devastated if Kaya died.
I'm trying to pinpoint the moment in which I was like emotionally attached to Hattie. Like
it's almost better that, like, for me, I don't have one moment either.
I don't think I do either.
It just like happened gradually, right?
Like,
as the story was progressing.
Yeah. Like I think for me, like, it was a build up of when we were in the forest and I just on the spot decided that riding a dragon was a life goal of Hattie's.
Yeah.
And then also
I think the whole
argument, I think.
Yeah, I think the whole realization of the situation going on with Kaya's, like, backstory. I think that's when it hit me where I was like, oh, this is getting deep. This is getting real.
Yeah. I
getting
think
deep, bro. But like there's that element. There's like the element of storytelling. But then there's also, like, when I was first playing Kaya, like, I enjoyed playing her as much as I enjoy playing D&D at any given point, right? But like the more we played, like the more excited I got for the next session where I got to play Kaya again. Like I started getting really excited to play her. And I think it probably has something to do with the way that Jenks gives our characters a lot of autonomy over what we get to do, despite having like not a very rigid story structure, but a story structure that we can kind of see. You know?
Yeah.
But like I've at the beginning, maybe sometimes I was like, you know, just going with the flow. But the more we played, the more I realized that like I can do literally anything, and Jenks will be prepared for it. And it's given me like, great freedom as a player to be able to just like fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Like now I have like long-term goals for Hattie, or Hattie has long-term goals. And like there are like sure Elturel is like it's the name of the campaign, it's the goal for right now. But like even after that, Hattie's having thoughts of like, okay, are we gonna stick together? Like we all kind of have our different things that we need to do. Some of us don't really have anything planned, so they can go off with a specific person. But like Hattie needs to go back to Candlekeep, and she needs to do various other things. But
I think it's fun
stuff,
because we're able to, after this Road to Eldrazi shit is like over, because the prophecy was given to us like a month ago, and after like everything with Eldrazi is over and we got that arc basically done, we're basically more in a sandbox than we are right now. We have the opportunity to stay together and just say, let's go to this, let's go there. We have this to do. We have information to lead us to some, like we have these little different quests over the entire map. We can start basically.
Yeah, and I mean, even though this is like a relatively rigid structure, right? There's a road we have to go to. We have to get to Elturel. Like, even though it's relatively linear, our path, I always feel like we have to make like a lot of choices, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the moment I realized how much freedom we have over our characters was when we were in the castle with the vampires.
Yes.
Like, so like during that session I realized we can do so much shit, and it's like kind of up to us. Like there's probably a path Jenks would rather us take, or paths that NPCs will push us into, but I always feel like, you know, that final choice is really ours, you know. Or, you know, when Snipe put in the amulet into the thing and it fucked us over, I was like, well, that was our choice. That wasn't something that Jenks made us do.
I don't even think that was my choice. I think that was just whatever fucking took a hold of me that moment's choice. It wasn't my choice because I don't like Will.
You know, or just the fact that we were considering going down and doing like a maze adventure, and that was something that we still could have done, right?
We might go back and do that again because that sounds dope. Like as a higher level, now I'm not like, now I have more key points. I'm like, yeah, let's go do a friggin' maze.
Let's fucking finish off that vampire bitch.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like those little drops of information we get
Yeah.
right now we can use to further like the next arc we're gonna play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the first time he dropped characters and like events for us, at first it was just us trying to develop personalities for our characters.
Yeah.
And then now we have them. It's like now we know our own formula. Let's
Yeah.
input it into everything we have now.
Yeah.
Just to kind of disrupt this lovely conversation about sandboxes, Ed has put in chat saying, you don't take compliments, do you? This was from a while back. I apologise for
No, we don't take
reading it and not speaking it out loud
Compliments will
because
get
I
you
didn't know
banned.
how to respond. I think each of you, including you are
You.
passionate and love telling a collaborative story, and that is a D&D fundamental. You're stellar players. You put your YOUR instead of YOURE. So the players that I possess are really brilliant. Yeah, I own you now. That's how that works.
Yeah.
That's not problematic at all. Thanks. That's how I deal with compliments. It's correcting grammatical mistakes.
Yep.
I try and give my players. Wow.
Yeah.
Someone else put the chat up so we can read this.
Yeah,
one.
should I read it out for you?
Yeah, it was
Complete control over character actions, which means I have no choice but to accept all actions except certain lines we all don't cross. Yeah. I mean,
It's so weird because while I feel like we have all this choice in Jenks' campaign, I also feel like every path we've taken has been the path that Jenks wanted us to take. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
it's strange. It's like we have choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jenks is just too prepared for anything to happen that he
Yeah.
makes us feel like the thing we choose is the
Yeah.
thing he wants us to
It's
choose.
clear
I think it's
he's
also-
played D&D before because
Yeah.
he knows every path possible.
Yeah.
So it's child's play with our campaign.
I think it's also, you know what it is? I think it's because the DM and the player like wants keep aligning. Like what we want,
Yeah.
our DM also wants.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because a lot of the times when I play D&D, you know, in like home campaigns and stuff like that, it sometimes it feels, even though like obviously the DM and the player are always telling a collaborative story, it does feel like sometimes you are like at odds with the DM and you're trying to fight him on something and you're trying to do something the DM doesn't want you to do and you have to like
Yeah.
sneak
Yeah.
around. But
Yeah,
Jenks,
like you have to give reason for what you
Yeah.
want.
but Jenks always wants what our players want or wants what us as players want.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why it works out really well because I never feel like I'm like fighting Jenks on anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like one or two times, I think
Yeah.
probably I will, but usually I feel like, you know, we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
doesn't feel like combat. It feels like a debate in which you shake hands afterwards. It's like that was a good
Yeah.
Yeah.
time. It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it's antagonistic in any way.
I am almost never wrong and nearly always. There was a message before that. I'm sorry for my typos. My brain swells from the allergy. The allergies again. Why is your brain is okay? Anyway, you know when you forget about something and it's kind of like the worst thing ever, and you hate the thought of someone going through that in their life, and they remind you of it, and it freaks you out momentarily. That. No, I am not criticizing you for your spelling mistake. That was just
What's
me
happened?
trying to find something to talk about your comment without talking about your comment.
Becca really appreciates your comment and thanks you for your compliments.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
for all of you. It wasn't just for me. It was to you guys as well.
I would
Okay.
just say thank you, Ed.
Yeah,
That's very
thank you.
kind of you.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you, Ed. It's very kind of you.
Moving on.
Moving on. I definitely plan for expecting what my players will choose to do on their own. I'm almost never wrong and nearly always thought about the odd action before the game. It's a constant problem, sorry.
Huh?
The conversation moved on too quickly and I can't keep track of what part of the conversation each comment were. Your typos are fine. It was me being an arsehole. I apologise for being an arsehole. I'd love to tell you it won't happen again. But
No
please,
promises.
please know that I never mean to insult anyone or offend anyone. I'm just an arsehole. That's all I am as a being. It's just... Okay, I think...
Should we do like questions or
Yeah, we
something?
should do
Yeah.
some questions.
Or we
can
not
go
have
on a
enough brain cells
break.
for conversation.
Yeah,
then-
short
A
break.
break.
Because it's nearly been an hour, so let's go on a hot break before I insult anyone else.
My lord, this is.
I don't even think you have. I think you just caught in the midst of...
English, I can't read. Who she be?
Good question. Don't ask me.
Don't worry about it. If you haven't noticed, I am terribly easygoing. I have noticed. I have anxiety.
On that note, see you guys after the
See
break.
you in a break.
Yeah,
See
10
you in a
minutes.
break.
Bye.
Okay, we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Back to this absolute mess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Entirely our fault, Ed. It's nothing to do with you.
The more you say it,
No, the
the
thing
less
is,
he will believe you.
we're like this when we're not streaming. We're like this on just Zoom calls and Discord chats. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't. If
This
anything,
isn't
you might
staged.
help us stay on track.
No. It's not a persona. It's just us.
God, I wish it was a persona. I could turn it off.
Can you imagine if we could turn it off?
Oh,
Gosh.
jeez. Oh,
That
what a
would be
glorious thing that would be.
Yeah.
My life would be more structured.
I'd get something done with my day. Oh,
Should we be doing questions?
Yeah. Let's get the
yeah.
questions.
Why don't we roll some D100s for us with our half
will-
brand new list of questions?
Yes, I will note them down. Got it once you
also,
go.
I should have fixed the chat box thing.
Oh. Yes. Today, Becca found out about layers.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
you don't need to call me out like this. It was always working. It was just behind the overlay, so...
It was always there, I just couldn't see it.
I rolled a 20.
So here's the question: if no one can see the chat box, does it make a sound?
It's a chat box.
Wait,
Oh.
Just shot it.
I
No,
need to
please
roll
don't.
something.
Yeah.
Oh heck! I don't
Okay.
have
Like
dice.
games.
Tell me the numbers you rolled.
Okay. I rolled a
23.
23,
15.
15. I rolled a 60.
Dice.
16.
I rolled a 49.
49. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Don't need to
20.
sound so enthusiastic about it, Carmen.
no. I'm just.
I just
Ah,
want to confirm
shit, here
with
we
the
go
audience.
again.
I just want to confirm with the audience. There is not currently a gun to Carmen's head that we know of. She is here of her
You
own
sure?
free will.
You sure?
Oh yeah, if you guys in chat have any questions that you would like to ask us
Oh,
about
yeah.
D&D or our characters at any given point, just drop them in chat. You
Yep.
know.
23. If your character could go back in time and change one thing about their life, what would it be?
That's 23.
23?
That's 23. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Wait, we're doing the
Oh, with your list.
I mean that's
okay.
a really cool question, but
yeah, I went
answer
back
that
to like the
question?
complete first list, like the one I
no,
sent.
no.
Oh
we
yeah, the new
we want to
questions.
finish
Yeah.
off the questions and then add the new questions as we go, right?
Look, I
Well,
don't know
it's-
what's going on. You're
we
going to
usually
have to
end up-
make
we
this
usually end
decision
up-
on your own.
We usually end up rolling a few rounds anyway, so there's two lists that we can choose
Yeah.
from. So we all roll
Well,
once, and then we choose the number
what-
from both the lists.
What it is that the last list, the one that I sent in, is all the questions from the previous list we haven't done mixed with the new questions that Carmen gave us.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 41 are old questions, and then the rest are new questions.
and then if we roll
Yeah.
the first 41, we can check them out and put in
No,
the
the first
pre-
41 are from the old list.
Yeah,
but
so
have
if we
not-
answer the one from the old list, we can scrape them out and put in a new question from the new list. From the first
Exactly.
41.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Great.
I have so little idea as to A, what that conversation was about, and 2, what the hell is going on.
Don't worry so much.
I
about
just
it.
don't worry about it. Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
so much.
Look at the cat. Oh!
Oh, it's a
Kitty!
cat.
Kitty, you do the heck and stretch.
He? Absolute child.
Where am I?
Give him
Oh,
scritches.
I
can't
reach her.
Scritches.
They deserve
No.
scritches. What are you doing?
No,
You're
I'm just scritch.
outrageous.
How dare you?
Give me a bit.
Yeah, scritches. Yeah.
No. Only
little,
affection.
little. Oh, she's a princess. Like
Aw.
she does that. Then when I try to touch her, she's like, no.
Yeah. I just want attention.
Do
but
you
not
mean cat?
Okay, let's
Yeah, no,
continue with the question.
With the questions, I sat on a Zoom call doing other work whilst they went through and worked out which questions we'd already asked. Because I have no memory of answering any of these questions, so
Okay, the 23 is what's Jesus? What's your character's worst
Jesus?
flaw? What's their worst flaw?
My worst flaw.
Hattie, impulsivity, Kia, self-righteousness.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
Firstly,
I think Reina is an overthinker. She goes over the scenarios too much to like keep. It's she goes over them too much for her. Like it's not good for her own sanity. She will if she yeah no it's just she's an overthinker. And Rascal is just an asshole. That's just.
Asshole
tell me
rascal.
about
That's
your
not a
character.
flaw.
Yeah, no,
my
I
character's
think-
an arsehole.
It's
me! It's me!
No, I think
Rip the mask off. Ha ha!
I think it's either selfish or greedy. One of those two.
Both good flaws.
I mean,
Mm, mm.
not a good thing, but an interesting flaw.
Yeah.
I'd say, what the fuck? Snipe
the fuck?
Snipe is probably just a representation of what's going wrong with the group in that they're very quiet and don't really say much. So when they need help, and they really do need help, they don't ask for help.
Mm.
Like they think they're rather independent to the point where they don't reach out, which is a kind of a flaw with them.
Yeah.
For Boy, he underestimates everything, so he thinks he's always one step ahead. He doesn't really understand the severity of situations, which eventually is going to bite him in the arse. Not yet, but will do.
One day. Knowing Dave with his consequences.
Yeah.
Action
Yes.
consequences.
Oh,
His
do you
hubris.
just hate consequences? Oh, can't you just do things and just like exist in your own bubble?
Mila, it's probably. You're right there, Becky.
No.
You have a queen of segues, I'd say.
Yeah.
Breakdowns do be happening though.
Yeah.
Mila's probably their like fear. They're just afraid of most things. And Kaya is her recklessness and inability to look ahead at any given moment.
Okay. That's
So fear and then lack of fear.
yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Fear one way and no fear the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 15. What do they think is the worst thing that can be done to a person?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question.
The worst thing that can be done to a person.
Ooh, that's interesting. While y'all are thinking about that, Ed just said in chat, my spore bard Spuds, that's hard to say, His flaw is he prefers to misunderstand people or at least use it as a shield to get away with things.
Mm.
Ooh. I like that idea of like, I'm innocent and pure. I don't know what's going on. You can't blame me.
Also, think about like the last question. I think Rascal's also his arrogance is one of his biggest flaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what was
What's
the
worst
question?
thing to be done?
Worst thing
It can be done to a person.
that can be done to
Oh.
a person according to your character.
Kia, to be shunned from like, not society, but from their like family or village or community. Hattie's probably like killed. You know?
Death.
She's probably
Yeah.
like, you can killing people is pretty bad. That's like she's not like, she doesn't think that way, you know. She doesn't think kind of, oh, the worst thing you can do to a person is trap them in their mind. She's just like, death seems pretty shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Convenience.
Yeah.
I'm dead. What an inconvenience. It was in the middle of lunch.
I think Reina is being left in the dark, like knowing something but not knowing all of it.
Do you mean your entire relationship with all of those gods?
Yeah. I think that's also why her frustration doesn't show, but she's frustrated because she's kept left in the dark, and she wants to know so much more, and she wants to ask for it, but she knows if she asks for it and gets greedy, she will probably know nothing at all. So she has to be patient, but she feels like withholding information that can be vital or someone wants to know is one of the worst things you can do to a person.
Fair
And
enough.
Rascal, I don't think he thinks there's a worse. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Just death.
No, not even death. I think torture or like keeping someone from dying is worse than death itself.
He has a
good
basic,
old-fashioned
there's so many
torture.
things you can do that's terrible to a person.
Yeah.
There's not the one.
Mila's would be someone losing a complete grip, their complete grip on reality, like not being able to tell what's real or what's not anymore. And then for Kaya, it would be losing complete autonomy over one's actions, choices, and self. Not being in control. Yeah.
I'd say the snipe, it'd be the worst thing that could be done to a person is if that person is powerful or has a certain like ability that makes them like a key component into changing the world and shaping it to be good. The worst thing that could be done to them is that the powerless who are hungry manipulate them to do their stuff instead. So basically, evil taking advantage of the good is what Snipe considers is really bad. For boy, probably.
So
yeah. I think for boy, it would be having an entire legacy erased from history would probably be the worst thing for boy. It's like somebody who's done so much great in their life, and as soon as they die, everyone just like erases any of their history because it's like, oh well, they weren't that interesting, so fuck it, I'm in charge now. Erase this person, and they're just forgotten.
Yeah, that's similar for Cleric. Worst thing you could do is completely forget about someone.
I have 2 questions. 1, are you all okay?
No.
What do you think?
You've known me for nearly a year now, Becca.
Yeah.
You should be calm.
Are you okay?
My second question is, Greg Paladin put in chat and said, one of my paladins was killed by a chain demon. Use his face as a mask against the rest of the party.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether you said one of my paladins is in your
Characters?
as in like players or your characters, but either way, is either you or your DM okay? Because that's horrific.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's up there. That's probably in one of Rascal's lists.
Yeah.
I
Rascal's
think
just like, for the fun of it, has like a hobby of writing down all the worst things you can do for humanity.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Great
Yeah,
TV
well,
show.
I think, yeah, like I said, I think murdering someone is not the worst thing you can do. Like, sometimes death is the best option out if in a situation. Like, if
It's a
you,
release.
yeah. So keeping someone hostage or using something against them is worse than dying, actually dying.
I can
Jesus.
see that.
Your first character. That was your first character.
Oh.
Horrible
That
DM at the time.
sucks.
I'm now a DM of 2 years, but yeah, I was upset for my poor boy. I am
Yeah.
not surprised. That was your first character, and that's what happened. I
What a
hope it
lovely
wasn't, like-
introduction to D&D you had.
Yeah.
Welcome to D&D, where we destroy your hopes and dreams.
Yep. Okay, next question.
Next question.
Right, moving on.
What else can we say about it? 94. 99, 49.
94, 49.
49.
Yeah.
What colors are associated with your character?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's fun. Give us a color palette.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hattie, purple.
I need to write this down for art.
Yeah. Okay, good idea. Artist, take notes, quick.
Yeah.
For Hattie, it's... The thing is, I think, like, the artists on this podcast came up with the colour scheme. So I specified purple pants or purple trousers, depending on which country you're from, for Hattie. And I think, like, her top gi, whatever it's, her, the toppy bit, you know what I mean.
The
The
vest.
shirt.
The shirt. Yeah.
Mugs, is like a forest emerald green. And then with Kia, I think, Carmen, you were using like reds and golds, which I really like. Although I think now she's taken like her armor off, she doesn't have like the military element to it, so she's probably not in that anymore. But I like the idea of it being like a browny red.
Yeah.
Rustic red.
Yeah, I also, in the drawing I'm creating, I took her armor completely off, so just like the clothes she would have worn underneath it. And I still have her keeping her cape or like her mantle, because I feel like she would still wear that at least.
Yeah.
But...
Who the heckity heck? No, well, I should know she's my character. Fuck.
Snipe is grayscale, any monochromatic colours. Basically, from white to black. Just, they don't really have that much colour in their life. It's a case where, like, they like being... Well, they're surrounded by it. So it's a case where it's like, any colour is, you know, it's fine by them. But, like, they just don't have any colour on their person at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
I mean-
Arthur.
Yeah, probably. Arthur's the only spark of colour. This little flash of burgundy that just appears every
Your little weasel pet is the only light of your life.
Yeah.
That's really
Aw.
sad now I
That
say it
sounds
out
about
loud.
that sounds about right. Boy is probably all metallic colours, so maybe mostly copper,
Yeah.
a little
The green.
yeah, with a little bit of green, little touch of silvers here and there. But apart from that, yeah, everything's very earthy colours.
Neela's mostly blues of different shades and silver as a highlight color. Maybe some, purples thrown in there for good measure, but mostly blues. And then Kaya is, well, when I first created her, she was an autumn palette. So a lot of reds, oranges, and browns. But I really liked what Soph did with her as well, making her a little bit more circusy, adding some pinks and blues. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah.
And she has several outfits, so she can be both.
Yeah, it's the same palette, it's just different style.
Yeah. Reina is a deep sky blue color, like leaning towards the purple. And Rascal is I'm still thinking about Rascal. I think gold is like one thing he wears a lot, and then maybe with a bit of red.
Yeah, I was gonna say red feels like
intertwined. Yeah.
an unnatural occurrence for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just gold red. Like that's the mix.
Oh, does that mean Kia and
Yeah,
wow, we're
even
all
in fashion.
wearing the same colour. There was art done. Oh, I don't know who it was by. Of us as cats. Us.
That's
Our cats.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah, that's Nat.
Yeah. Nat did that.
that was
That
adorable.
art, and Kia and Rascal were like glaring at each other, and I was like, oh, I love it. So good.
Rascal is so small.
Yeah.
I'll never get over how tiny Rascal is.
No.
So much rage in such a small body.
Yeah. The angry
s-
boy.
I scaled him up a little bit because I'm like 4'11" is a bit on the tiny side. Everyone is almost like 6 feet and over. I'm like,
I was like, I'm small but also in charge.
I think
It's 3 foot.
5'2".
It's 3'9".
Yeah, I think because it's boy is the smallest, then it's Rascal, then it's Neela. So I think if I scaled him up to
Wait,
5'2".
if you're 4'11", if you're 4'11", Neela is like, what's Neela? Isn't Neela 4 or is Neela 5?
I think
Neela's
Neela's
tiny.
5 because they're about the same height.
Yeah.
Neela's small.
So small.
Yep.
Just to kind of. What?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Were you gonna say something?
I also rolled a question, but you
Okay.
wanted to say something before you lose your train of thought.
It's already gone. Train's left the station.
No ticket.
I'm just gonna continue snacking while I try and find my train of thought. To skip back a little bit, Ed said, I plan to kill a player with mushrooms so that when he returns he can respect Spore Sorcerer.
That reminds me of something.
That's one way of doing it.
Kia with her mushrooms.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Kia nearly ate those mushrooms because she wasn't focusing
Yeah.
on which mushroom she was picking. Anyway,
Yeah.
she's not dead yet, so it's fine. And yeah, the DM was way too brutal for first-time players. Level 3 against a chain demon and a fire elemental with half the party down from the dungeon itself.
Damn. That's
Wow.
that's really intense.
Chain demon. Hold up.
Chain demon, that's like a level 10 monster.
What was
gonna
that
look it
demon
up.
doing to you?
Was
That's
this the first
just
time
brutal.
this person DM'd?
Yeah, well, they
Yeah, if
went
it's an
With
entire-
a fire elemental, a chain demon and a fire elemental.
as
That's
well as
just-
the dungeon.
That's
Wait,
like
it was
level 12 characters.
Yeah. Is it in here?
It's called a chain devil, I think.
Yeah,
Should be in the
it's a
devil
chain-
section of the monster manual.
No, they came from 3.5.
Oh,
Ah, okay.
Chain Devil. That's what does it say? Armor class 16, 85 hit points, challenge rating 8. Okay.
It's a hefty monster right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that was your first experience with D&D.
That creature.
It does look very
Jesus.
cool.
It does look cool, however, as a level 3 first-time player,
That's
Yep.
intimidating.
and then he
And-
took your face, and
That's rough, buddy.
that's rough,
Fire
buddy.
elemental.
Rough.
That's
I feel
right,
like that
buddy.
DM had a bad day.
Yeah, and then a fire
Jeez.
elemental as well. Challenge rating 5.
After a dungeon. We had a
no.
party of 6 level 3s, and it wasn't even a major dungeon, but it affected the campaign. I wanted to quit, but I was
wanted to.
addicted, lol.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
yeah. Well, that's just rough. That's
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 rough,
rough,
buddy.
that's rough, buddy. Yeah, like that's shit.
I'm glad
Yes.
I'm not. I don't think I'll ever say this again in my life, but I'm glad you got addicted and you have found out what the game is really about. And
Yeah.
I hope you're now having fun with it because that's awful. You
Yeah,
don't do
that's
that to
awful.
new
I don't
players.
know, like Janks, if you're listening to this podcast afterwards, what we just described, is that legal? Is that allowed? Is what that DM did reasonable? Because we're thinking, no.
Yeah, our instinct is a hard no. Well, Grace, sit down and relax. Grab a
Well-
slice of these lot.
It could be that maybe they
Oh.
they wanted to.
I just couldn't comprehend English.
I think maybe it's they maybe wanted to drop in like a hint of what was to come, but they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Like they dropped a little bit too much, and they dropped them into battle. Well, it
It's just-
was meant to
it
be a
didn't-
little
Sorry, I
teaser.
teaser.
dropped
Come.
this chain
Yeah.
chain demon with this fire and but my I'll just take these away.
This
Yeah.
is a reminder of what's to come. It didn't come. It already came and went.
It came, went, and killed all of
What
our
a fucking
party.
vocal voice skit of just the words "it's coming" written everywhere, and then at the end of it, it just says he's just went. He's just gone. He went. You missed him.
I saw some sort of a meme online, like about a mount. I think someone dropped it in CarpeDM Discord about the mountain just up and left.
That was me. That was me. I did that for you. It was me.
Like there was a mountain in your vision, but he just up and left.
It's my favorite of the memes.
He just got
I
up.
don't know if I can find it.
It was
Oh,
So
the
it's-
mountain meme with the DM who had to figure out a
Yeah.
reason why the mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
this is
he
it.
just up and left. He walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can show you guys this very funny meme. Ooh.
While Becca's doing
The
that, do
pressure.
you want to ask the next question, Carmen?
Yeah, it was 60. What does it? Oh Jesus! Okay.
I know. I just read it. I was like,
what decision would a party have to make in order for your character to consider splitting off from the group?
Well then,
You good,
That's
It's a
Becca?
funny meme. Read it.
Oh, Becca's
enjoy.
still in.
Becca's still. Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
Becca didn't hear the question.
No, should I repeat it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
What decision would the party have to make in order for your character to consider splitting off from the group?
I don't think you need to answer that question. We've already
Just-
had many
yeah.
situations. Just spout out.
This
For
this
people who
decision you
haven't
guys made.
seen- Who haven't seen the first campaign that we did on this channel, which may or may not be continuing. My character just up and left.
Yeah.
And then, most recently in Crimson Petal, my character is wanting to,
Considering
but
up and
cannot
leaving.
up and leave.
Yeah.
But that's the funny meme. You've had time to read it now. That was all the time I'm giving you. Say bye-bye to funny meme.
Yeah, digest that meme while it is there.
Yeah.
What's-
Um,
what would the-
um,
oh, damn.
I don't know what I've just
But it's-
done, but visually there doesn't look like there's any difference. Look, I'm a professional streamer.
Are you?
I would split from the group at any moment. I ain't scared, but for real, I would only split for if doing so brings worthy advantage to me or my crew. My crew, the gang, the nerds. My boo?
what about boy? So,
Yeah. For the love of God, please move on from me. Someone
Does
take
it might
over.
make it harder for your character to consider something from the group. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean like purposefully we're gonna split ways and go do a plan, or they're gonna say now fuck you, I'm leaving?
yeah, what
I
shitty
love
thing
that.
would have to happen where boy would go like "fuck you" and just leave?
You're not my real dad.
I really,
Or like, what situation would have to arise for boy to go? I'm a head out.
I really don't know. Nothing has come to mind yet that would probably trigger that thing. I think it would have to be something where things have got so out of hand that boy just like slowly disappears in the background, just is never seen again.
Just Simpsons into the
Yeah, he
Like,
just-
what if
just
you know? Is there like if your blacksmith mentor sent you a message through sending saying, "Oh God, the shop's burnt down. I need your help immediately." Would you leave the party at that point?
Ooh, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, possibly. I think. It depends what comes up, because I don't know what Dave's plan is. It's a case where like we've made these characters randomly and thrown them into the world, and Dave's trying to build characters and a world around it that makes us relate to it, but that can only temperamentally work because because boy's just a little bit heartless in some ways, so like the actions of one person wouldn't necessarily throw him off to say, "Oh fuck you, I'm leaving." So I'm
yeah,
not sure.
but like It doesn't have to be like that. It could be, something else comes up, or something from his past comes up, or something like that.
Oh yeah, something to do with like his
Mhm.
research. Yeah, he would mosey on away from the group and go deal with that, but he would come back is the thing.
Mm.
Like there's nothing that would let him
Temporarily
permanently leave
split
the
off.
group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
What about
Snipe at this very moment is teetering on the edge of everyone's wasting my time. Fuck you, I'm gonna go do this myself.
Yeah. That's
as
totally
they
understandable,
should.
though. Yeah.
As they should. I absolutely want Snipe to fuck off to score
to
a bell.
save their life.
Yeah. I love it if you just cut the sentence out. I really love Snipe to just fuck off.
I'm just like, oh god, I'm so done with Snipe. Oh wait, you're still in the Zoom call.
What about Reyna and everyone else?
I don't think Reyna would split off at any moment. Maybe.
Would she, if one of the gods just said like, "Hey, got a favor to ask you, come with me," would Reyna do that?
I think because right now she's figuring out the relation she has with the party and with the gods. Like, she's trying to find out what's most important to her. I don't think either would make her leave the party.
What if her family, like her mom or something, contacted her and was like, "Hey, you gotta mosey your way back on wherever you came from."
Mosey your way.
Put that thing back where it came from. Oh, something.
She, to be honest, she would ignore it because that's very interesting because before we met as a party, she was on her way to her mother and her sister to say, "Guys, I'm going to leave. I don't know if I'll come back. Probably see me in like the next 10 years for the first time." That was her intention.
She was gonna go see her mum. I didn't realize it was a goodbye. Hello. A hello for the goodbyes.
Say goodbye. I say hello.
Yeah, no, basically she was on her way to say goodbye to her mother, and then she was going to go on a trip on her own to find her father, and she wouldn't know where to start. So she would have gone to Waterdeep, stay there for a week, do some research, and then buy a horse and just completely disappear. That was her initial plan, and then she met you guys, and now she's in this mess.
And she met you guys, and it went downhill from there.
Yeah, and she.
What if like, we find out that let's say you're with a party, and they find out that now you're worshiping Lolth, and they get real offended about it or something like that.
Yeah, I think
like,
that's the
that's
moment.
Fucked up.
I think that's the moment when she'll if she gets disapproval from the party or from if she gets disapproval from one person, she's like, okay, well, sure. But if the entire party is like, well, that's fucked up, we don't want you here, get out, then she'll leave.
Or not even get out, but just kind of not trusting you anymore. Would that make you leave?
Yeah. I think that's about the moment, and that's also probably why she. No, not probably. That's why she keeps it hidden.
Yeah.
And Rascal, I need to think about.
Yeah.
Kaya's always about 3 steps away from leaving at any given moment.
It's true. It's disconcerting as another player to see Kia could just Kaya.
Yeah, I said Kaya.
Why have we
Kaya.
done this to ourselves?
You should have called her Oregano. That's what I was doing.
You should have called her Oregano.
It would have been way easier.
Oregano parachute. We should have done it.
Oh,
No,
He was
he has
destined.
1 step away from leaving. He has literally a magical sword away from leaving. But the thing about Kaya is when the thing with Hattie happened, that was a moment where she was gonna leave. She wanted to leave with her friends when they were going to Baldur's Gate. And honestly, what would get her to actually leave the party at this point? Now it's a little bit more difficult for her to leave because she's invested to some degree. But if What would get her to leave now at this point? I think
Seymour?
that. Yeah, I mean, if Seymour left, she'd probably leave too. But what would get her to just like leave on her own accord? I guess it would have to be a mix of like a couple of things. You know, if the tarot card shit got out of hand and you know, Fate became a more important player. And then on top of that, if she felt like her friends weren't in constant danger of dying and she could leave without them literally dying. And
It's
then
like, Hattie's too much of a mess. We can't leave this child on their own.
yeah, so it would have to be a mix of like she feels like she's not needed anymore. She feels like, you know, she's not in control of what she's doing or where she is. That I think would have to be the biggest. Like if she feels like, you know, everything is pushing her in a certain direction, she's gonna actively walk into a different direction.
Janks, don't listen to this bit.
Yeah.
That's a bit late.
Just for reference, Sir Janks, who is incredible and is our DM, watches these podcasts back. So
To make some notes.
to take notes and make us feel pain.
This is the only way we develop our fucking characters. We don't actually do any of this in game.
No.
Yeah, everyone else can like do normal improv, develop their characters,
Interact
keep
with
the story
NPCs.
going, interact with NPCs, interact and communicate with each other. We can't do that. We have to have
No.
a separate podcast to make it possible.
It's also absurd that after even 50 episodes, we still haven't talked properly.
No. We've always made
Bit of
plans.
talk.
But
Yeah.
then again, I think it's also on Janks for the sake of it was just like, okay, we need to talk at some point. We're going to organise it now. And then Janks says, oh, something's happened.
Yeah. You need to run.
Right.
You need to
Fuck
hide.
off.
You need.
And then
Yeah.
well, here's the thing, Janks. We forget. We always forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whenever Jenks
When we
gives
need
us an
to
opportunity to
talk.
talk, we forget, and then when we actually want to talk, the story keeps
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah.
What I
It's a mix of things.
Yeah.
What I love is how, because we aren't talking to each other, he told us to make new characters that are already interconnected because
Yeah.
we are incapable of getting our characters to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I think we'll get there, but I think I think we need downtime for it. And right now we're on
Yeah.
a schedule and shit is happening. And so
Yeah.
someone is dying and someone's missing and someone is incapacitated. And it's
Yeah.
just a whole shit show of
There's nothing
stuff
on
that's
the TV,
happening.
nothing on the radio.
Yeah. We just need a place where we can sit and we can talk. Because
Yeah.
I feel like our characters want to know more about each other, but shit
Yeah.
keeps happening. So we're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, we need to deal with this right now. And
Yeah.
then we forget everything we wanted to talk about. And that it's nothing.
What
That's
about,
basically-
have you talked about Rascal?
No, I'm still thinking about
Okay.
it.
Well, while you're thunking about that, Grey Paladin has said, for Lasleo, I'm going to say that's how you pronounce that character name, to destroy... Whoa, am I reading the right bit?
No.
To destroy evil if the party is going... Yeah, to destroy evil if the party is going somewhere else or his family need him, Reeves would leave if staying wasn't beneficial anymore to his guild progression. And if Helm told Lassio to split, he would say, bye guys. Lol. Yeah, I feel like the reality is, in the same way it takes, like, tragic backstory to get someone to, like, leave everything and go kill a dragon, you know. I think very similar things would motivate those people to also not continuing to go find dragons to kill, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ed has said one of my players hid just as drama was unfolding. Hid just as drama was unfolding when everyone left the room as the drama unfolded. So technically, the 6 of them split away from the rogue, who then robbed that store blind. It's a par for course for rogues, if I'm honest with you.
Yep.
But no, I
Right
think
underneath
it's-
there, it says rogues be rogues.
Yep.
Rogues
Rogues
do be
do be
rogue.
rogue.
Yep.
I
don't know
What happened to Hattie?
Hmm?
Because Hattie was so close to splitting off with the group at the very beginning of the campaign.
Yeah, Hattie was all like, oh, I need the coin and then I need to bounce. Oh my gosh, it's every single one of my characters, isn't it, that's tried to leave.
Mhm.
I need to go
Yep.
to like a therapist or something
I'm here
and be
for
like,
coin, and then I fuck off. It's literally the build-up for most
give me
characters. at the
coin
beginning.
and I shall fuck off. I probably need to go talk to a therapist about why all of my characters just want to leave. What would it take for Hattie? The thing is, because I don't think Candlekeep would just tell her to leave. I think,
They haven't told you thus far to leave.
No.
but even then, I think because her boss is basically like a father figure to her, I think it would be a case of go take your friends and go get this one thing, you know? I'm not entirely sure anymore. I think because like she wants to stay with you guys because she enjoys it so much more, and she has like she can be relaxed and she can be herself. She doesn't have to like try and not have impulse control. Try and have impulse control. She can have no impulse control and be picked up and saved by you guys.
Is that what Hattie enjoys about being?
Yeah, that's what she likes about friendship. Is like she can be an idiot and everyone's like,
Yeah.
okay.
She's not putting a harness on herself to keep in control. We are the living harnesses around her.
Yeah. I guess it would be if you
All of us died.
didn't want her around, and
If she would have been shunned off, basically.
yeah, and also if you kind of stopped caring and stopped looking after her, like if, because everyone who's ever actually cared for her and cared about her has tried to stop her doing all the stupid things that she wants to do. Everyone who's kind of been like a fake friend or something like that has like egged her on because they think it's funny to watch her do like that stupid thing. Like specifically the guys at the orphanage, that was like, because it was funny, you know, to watch the small halfling with ridiculous hair with impulse control issues get in trouble, you know, like it was entertainment. So the people who actually cared about her, for them to be like, why are you doing this? Are you okay? You need to stop. There's consequences for your actions. We care about you. Please don't hurt yourself. Like, that was proof that, like, they cared. So the fact that you guys are, like, trying to get her to stop doing these stupid impulsive things prove that they care about her. So if that stopped, she'd leave. It would take a lot to make her to leave.
Egging her on.
Yeah, like, yeah, I get him. She'd be like, I don't want to get him anymore.
Because like you have been like dropping hints sometimes in conversation that Hattie kind of feels like her friends are not like don't take her seriously or don't like listen to her and try to shut her up. So where does Hattie stand with the rest of the group in her head right now?
She thinks like although you think she sees the rest of the group as thinking that she is like a child that needs to be looked after and like not necessarily controlled but kept safe, and that because she is like child adjacent, if you know what I mean. Like she isn't a child, she's an adult, but she has like impulse control issues and doesn't want to take on any responsibilities and won't act her age. Because of that, I think she thinks that you don't think she is capable of taking on responsibility or doing the right thing or understanding. Like, she knows what she's like. She knows that she's a complete mess and she has impulse control issues. She's not just like skipping through life oblivious. So I think she doesn't want to take on responsibility. She doesn't want to be anything like that. But I think she thinks, you guys think, that she isn't capable, not that she doesn't want to.
sorry if I go off topic with introducing a question, but at the very beginning of like this campaign, we sat down and said, how does our character think of all the other characters? Do you think we should ask that now?
Oh yeah.
We've never asked that, because has anything progressed since we've asked that question?
Also, I think Rascal, just to throw it in real quickly, Rascal would leave the party if he finds more capable people in a certain aspect.
Yeah.
There would probably have to be more capable people who are as loyal to him, right?
Yeah.
That would probably be important.
If he finds a group of people he can not rely on, but they are capable enough that could help him towards a goal he wants, basically.
Yeah. Easy to manipulate.
Neela, I don't actually know what would make Neela leave at this point. I guess if their presence in the party was a danger to the party in any way, they'd probably want to leave. Or no, I guess that would be it. They really need the party. They're not.
Yeah. I was gonna say the only way I think Neela would probably leave is if we were all getting killed off one by one, and she thought, the only way I can possibly get ahead is if I run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they would leave the party if everybody was getting their ass beat, and then they would just run. They'd probably come back eventually, but they would first run.
Yeah.
A fair response.
So yeah, Road to Elturel. What do our characters think of each other?
Ooh. Who wants to go first?
I'd say doing it individually. I'll try go first. Snipe's opinion of Hattie. They really like Hattie. Just because like their presence is something that immediately lightens the mood of the rest of the group. Because it's a case where it's like we don't talk to each other, and there is a lot of awkward air between all of us, and so Hattie's there to say, nah, fuck that, I'm going to say whatever, and just introduces something interesting, and Snipe really likes that. I don't know. Also, Snipe is the kind of person where they understand that it's probably a good idea to let Hattie do what they want, but still tell Hattie it's a bad idea for you to do that, but not stop her completely from doing anything. It's like Hattie wants to do something, the best thing to do is to say, don't do that, but then leave her to make the decision of whether to listen or not. So at least if she does do something and it does turn out bad, she was given the warning that what she was going to do was going to be bad. It's better than us just saying, nah, go for it.
Wait, consequences.
Yeah, just like, reminder, consequences.
Yeah, I feel like Snipe is by far the person who understands Hattie the best.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that as well.
Yeah. Snipe's opinion of Reyna. Snipe does kind of understand now because of the situation in the Lonely Tower and all that's been told of what's going on with Reyna. Snipe now understands that there's something going on with Reyna, and the reason they're being so quiet is because that's consuming them to the entire point, and now Snipe is just waiting for the bit where everything piles on Reyna where she just has to admit it. And then Snipe would sit down and say, hey, let's talk.
Yeah.
With Kaya, Snipe completely understands Kaya's situation in that if Kaya wants to leave, let them leave. Because Snipe himself has been through a situation where they've been in one place, that shit's hit the fan, time to run. So Snipe respects that. Seymour, Snipe just thinks is a fucking idiot. Snipe knows what's going on because in the Vampire's Castle they saw infernal shit going on, so Snipe knows where Seymour lies, but thinks the Infernal could have done better. They could have done better in choosing a person for a mission.
Snap.
Oof.
Yeah. Seymour will have to do something extravagant in front of Snipe to prove that is wrong. Unfortunately, that's not happened yet, because everything that Seymour does has anything to do with
Now he
Infernal.
has
He's
evil
only okay
mind.
with Kaya.
Yeah.
Now he's a fucking mindless thing, and now Snipe will probably never see Seymour ever be able to accomplish that if shit really does hit the fan. Helra,
It's also that Feeble Mind doesn't end in 30 days. He makes a save again.
Yeah.
So
It's
my fate.
yeah, it's not ending. It's just like you can try to save
There's
from it.
another chance, and then they might take that away again.
Because we have 2 months, so 30 days.
Yeah.
So if we don't get him cured before those 30 days, he makes 2 saves.
Way.
No,
There's
yeah, we're gonna
no
have to get him healed. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
find someone
Yeah,
to get
we're
him healed.
not waiting 30 days. That's
No.
fucking ridiculous. We
Yeah.
have to
What are
find a
we
way to
gonna
heal
do with him? Just like sit him down in a bed and be like, I have fun.
We're gonna
Good
have to
luck.
hattie him. We're gonna have to harness him.
Yeah, make a child harness with like a leash and just just like
Hattie then gets to actually just like be in charge of him and just like, right, I'm in charge of you now. Because I have more impulse control than you.
Night Grey Paladin.
Good night.
I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
I'll touch on
Fancy
quickly with
jazz
Helra.
music starts in the background.
Helra, Snipe doesn't have an opinion on them yet, but thinks that like they are part of just one of the things that Snipe doesn't really find comfortable in the world, which is an idea of putting order into other people. Like Snipe doesn't like that. The whole situation with Scornable, Snipe wants to leave Scornable because they hate the Black Abbey. They don't like the idea of Bane and the idea of tyrannical order, and they're just like, I want to fucking leave.
It's also interesting that there is a what was it again? Bane?
Yeah,
It's Bane,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
it's Bane.
Susubar. It's just so absurd that like, because you don't think about it, but it's logical to have like evil gods being worshipped, and it's just so fun to come across a Black Abbey basically and just see what kind of people are in the Black Abbey.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
That's
So
me.
how do you
That's-
rank them? What's Snipe's final
we're
ranking so
ranking
far?
them.
Oh, rank of but what's the scale? Is it most tolerable to least tolerable, or is it
Most liked to least liked.
most liked to least liked? Kaya, most liked. Then Hattie.
Oh wow.
Then
Over
Reyna.
Hattie.
Yeah.
Damn.
Excuse
Then
me?
Seymour. And then Helra.
Oh wow, Seymour. That is not at all what I thought. That's so interesting. Seymour's
Well,
way that.
Snipe-
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, Snipe kind of just respects the decisions going on with Kaya right now. And it's a case where Kaya also Snipe realizes Kaya is the one who kind of does see a little bit like the leader, because at least they have a proper functioning brain cell in comparison.
At least one. At least,
At least
one.
one. Yeah. Well, like they really enjoy Hattie, but at the same time, Hattie puts a smile on the face and a migraine in the head.
Thank you for the follow, Grey Paladin. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for the follow. I just
Thank
noticed it.
you.
Well, anyway, that's Snipe's opinion thus far.
Carmen?
Jesus. Okay.
If you're ready,
Okay.
that is.
Yeah,
If
I
not-
think I'm
so
ready.
interesting.
Yeah. Reyna enjoys Hattie because
everyone's like, she's fun.
yeah, no, she even though
It's a good time.
yeah, no,
He's gonna
because
laugh.
like Soph said, they are not the comic relief, but they're like the one that fills the empty like spaces in between conversations. Like they're the one keeping the group like together, some sort of.
What's your function in the party? Are you
I'm the
like the
glue.
wizard, the fighter? Do you like do the melee stuff? Are you the charismatic guy who like talks to the kings? No, I fill in awkward silences.
No, it's just it's not the right way of putting it, but that's
You're the
just
comic
my.
relief, Hattie, all right?
You're the
Just
glue
accept
that
your
keeps
role.
us together.
Lovely, love that.
I think okay. Saying this correctly, trying to use my English language to the full capability it's at.
I'm
with
taking the mickey.
one brain
I'm
cell.
joking.
Reyna sees a lot of herself in Hattie from her younger self. Like no impulse control, being like fun,
You're calling me a child.
dicking around and just having fun with everything that's going on. So she really, really likes Hattie, but sometimes she like we had the moments we had before we went to sleep, like with the tree and staying silent for like 4 hours. She really is like, well, I'm not sure if you're capable of it, because it's like I've
was
only seen
so
this side of
offended.
you.
She was so offended.
Yeah.
At that. She was like,
Yeah.
I have robbed like really rich white men, like the rich white men of D&D, you know?
Yeah, but Reyna doesn't know it. She only seen your
The chaotic side.
your chaotic side, not your side.
Yeah,
of
how else
servants.
are you meant to rob rich white men? That's so hard. Rob
Rich white
rich
men.
white
Rob
men.
Rich. Right, fuck.
Right? Your tongue wants to go rob
Yeah,
which right.
rich white men.
Jonathan Ross.
But yeah, no. Just because that's like she sees a lot. Like Reina is someone who tries to see herself in other characters, like in other people, to see the resemblance that they have. Um, so that's what she sees in Hattie, and in it's she is very happy to have someone around her that's like that, because it's very fun. Um, Kaya, she likes Kaya, but she is too impulsive for her liking, like making decisions for the entire group. Um, and not being able to trust Faith, because Reina is someone who likes to trust Faith and see where the path leads her, and Kaya like actively tries to ignore it.
Yeah.
So that's something she's like, well, she wants to believe that Kaya knows what she's doing, but she's really iffy about it. Yeah, no,
Don't
she's
ever
like,
believe or assume that Kaya at any point in her life has ever known what she was doing.
yeah, but like it's a very iffy relationship, like in her eyes. She's grown to like Seymour a lot more, just because personality wise. And she still thinks he can be some sort of a dickhead sometimes, but she's grown to like him a lot more.
He's a fun dickhead.
Yeah. And Snipe, she is very interested in Snipe, mainly because Snipe is from another plane, basically, another world. And she feels like Snipe and Reina, they have a lot in common, like basically about, it's weird to say, about the abyssal side of things. Like she feels like Snipe is the one to talk to when she feels like it, basically. And then Hilra, she is shocked, I think, to see, because she of course read history books and she went to school, and in high elven culture they basically say drows are not to be trusted, basically. So she's shocked to see a drow paladin of Torm, I believe it is.
Yeah, Torm.
So she's still very confused about it, and she's interested to learn more about her, but she's not quite sure just yet. And to rank them, Jesus.
Final
I think
rankings.
Yeah, I think
This
Feels
is
like
all
a
we
game
care
show.
about.
I think Snipe is on top, and most likable.
I find that very surprising.
I fill in awkward silences, I will have you know.
I find that very surprising, actually, that Snipe is at the top of anyone's list.
Then it's Hattie. Then it's Kaya. And then it's Seymour. And then it's Hilra.
Everybody hates Seymour.
No, I don't hate him. It's just...
In comparison to everyone else, he's on the
So
what
funny.
he lacks is...
It's really, really funny. We should just tell Dave that everybody just...
Like,
nobody likes...
It would be really funny if
blood
Kyle was
pact.
also like, and then last...
Hilra and then Seymour.
Hey, power is growing on me, but Seymour...
not much, you know.
It's mainly
he
because she
doesn't
doesn't see... Reina doesn't see a lot of herself in Seymour. She is, like, she, like I said before, she tries to... she feels the most connected to the people she sees most of herself in.
Yeah.
So, with Snipe, it's just, like, the wonder of other worlds and the wonder of... I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. For Hattie, it's the impulsive and the childlike wonder of the world, basically. And for Kaya, it's weird to say, but it's like not trusting in fate and actively trying to avoid it. She doesn't resemble, like, she doesn't have the same trait as Reina,
interest in the
but
opposite.
it's interesting to see the opposite of how she acts, how Reina acts.
Yeah, and Seymour's just there.
Yeah, and Seymour's
just happens sometimes.
He is an interesting one because he doesn't resemble a lot like Reina. He has not really any connections with her, basically. So yeah.
All right. Should I go next?
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, let's start with Seymour. Well, obviously,
I need to
Kaya
write
is
the
really
character names.
close with Seymour. Seymour's like the first person that Kaya would consider like she has been really close with since the Vanguard. She's always worried about him at this point. Like, it's weird because before, like in the first half of this campaign, it was like a sort of dynamic where like Kaya knew that Seymour could take care of himself. And so, you know, it was more like Seymour was protecting her than the other way around. But now Seymour's like all over the fucking place. He keeps fainting. He, you know, he's not drinking enough water. And Kaya is like is really, really worried about him. But that's because she really cares about him. So, yeah. Then we got Snipe. Kaya really appreciates Snipe's attitude. She thinks that Snipe is by far the most level-headed, probably the most intelligent one out of the group. She always feels like Snipe, like at least gives the demeanor that they know what they're doing to a certain extent, even though Kaya has realized at this point that they don't really know what they're doing. But you know, Kaya, you know, appreciates Snipe's lifestyle. Snipe's choices are almost all choices that Kaya would also make. So Kaya feels a lot of kinship towards Snipe. Hattie is a complicated person for Kaya because Kaya
That's a
really
nice
likes
way of
Hattie.
putting it.
Yeah. She did steal from me.
Kaya really liked Hattie at first, and then they had that big fight where Kaya realized that like she couldn't trust Hattie, and that was something that Kaya found very important, is for her to be able to trust the people that she's traveling with. And you know, that definitely made it more difficult for Kaya to become friends with Hattie. But she has forgiven Hattie at this point for all of those things, but she still doesn't know if she can 100% trust Hattie. I think that she's almost the opposite from everybody else, is that she probably overestimates Hattie a little bit instead of underestimating her, because she doesn't think that like Hattie's persona is a front, but she feels like Hattie knows how to. It's like Hattie has different allegiances, and she wouldn't be too broken up about, you know, stealing from the party, about collecting information, about betraying them in some ways that maybe she doesn't even realize she's betraying them in. So that's what worries Kaya about Hattie, but Kaya still really likes Hattie and likes, you know, her competence when they're fighting. She likes her, you know, humor. They have like similar humor. So Kaya wants to like Hattie, but just doesn't know if she can trust her.
Ooh. Harsh,
And,
but I understand.
And then there's Reina, who Kaya just doesn't really get on with that well, I think. Kaya and Reina aren't really alone together a lot, and I think that's just because they don't have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya, you know, Reina's like always praying, always stuck in between gods or whatever. Like, Kaya just doesn't really have it in herself to care for the issues of someone if they're not going to share with the table. She's like, you don't have to share, keep it all to yourself, but then I'm not going to care about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of her attitude.
Is it also because, just a quick question, is it also because she is like, because Kaya is not a person of faith, she's also like, if Reina doesn't share anything about her faith, she's also not interesting to learn about it.
Yeah, I mean, Kaya is not only not like religious, she's anti-faith, right?
Yeah.
She thinks it's stupid. She thinks it's for stupid people who can't make their own choices. So she
We would like to specify that here at CarpeDM, we accept you no matter what your religion is, and opinions
all
shared
just a game.
about
It's just
religion
a game at the end
are
of the
about
day. We're
a
playing characters.
role-playing game and are not real and do not reflect our actual beliefs.
Although we will cry when
Naomi,
these characters die.
Yeah.
I am Protestant. I am a person of faith. So I'm alright with saying Kaya fucking hates it. She dunks on people with faith. That's one of her flaws.
We're gonna get cancelled. This is it. This has been a great final podcast, everyone.
Very niche form of cancel as well. Just like, you're overly religious.
You know, and Kaya, like, she sees a lot of the things she hates about religious people reflected in Reina. You know, Reina, she seems all like high and mighty, You know, Reina like comes from, you know, a privileged, rich background, but you know, that was another thing we talked about that at another time. But you know, Kaya way back in the beginning of the campaign when they were sleeping outside, and Kaya was like, man, doesn't suck sleeping outside, my back hurts. And Reina was like, nah, I do it all the time. You know, it felt like she was, you know, Kaya's forced to sleep on the ground a lot because she can't always afford a room. But you know, fucking Reina's out here glamping whenever she wants.
Yeah.
So,
Fucking
you know,
Reina
Kaya
and her glamping. Oh my god.
So Kaya and Reina just differ in like every aspect of each other. Would probably never be friends if they weren't in the same group. Like Kaya doesn't hate Reina in any way. She just doesn't really care at this point. And then you know Helra, who Kaya currently wishes wasn't there. Just simply because first of all, another fucking religious person, are you serious? And you know, someone who is just someone who's very similar to Reina, you know.
It's another religious
as, like, an authority.
person? God.
I'm curious if that
religion.
will. I'm curious if that will change in like the next 50 episodes. Because
If we live that long.
Yeah, Helra's religious. She holds herself as like an authority figure. She's, you know, important. She has an amount of privilege that she's probably not recognizing. She, yeah, like there's stuff there that Kaya's like, I don't like that, which this probably subject to change, but we'll see how that goes.
God,
So, yeah.
if Kaya was like in this world, she'd be the person that like wears like a leather jacket with an "Eat the Rich" like patch.
Anarchy. So.
Yeah.
Straight edge, just.
So what's the scoring?
Yeah,
the ranking.
We're here for the ranking.
Seymour is obviously first, by a long shot, like by a large margin. In fact,
Okay,
if
there's no
Seymour...
need to rub it in, okay? It's like
Someone
really,
actually
really
does like
large
Seymour.
gap.
like
she's
miles.
Like, yeah, like mile ahead of everyone else. It's just, it's like incredible
Seymour...
how much I love Seymour compared to everybody else. Like, wow, I really love Seymour.
Have I mentioned I love Seymour?
Fuck everyone else.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's a
like
page at the end of the
the
list.
entirety of the Vanguard. And then the rest of the party.
All the people I've ever known in my past are underneath Seymour, and then it's you guys.
So Seymour, then it would be Snipe, probably.
Yes. I'm the first of the...
Fuck you. But you're miles
certain...
below Seymour, by the way.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's a certain understanding, like, Kaya just gets Snipe. Like, she really gets Snipe. Snipe wants to do shit on their own sometimes. They don't want to be a bother to people. You know, also, Snipe's dying right now, which might have made Kaya feel a little bit more akin to Snipe.
I get pity points.
Hey!
Pity points. Then Hattie, once again, I think if Kaya wasn't so... If Kaya wasn't so mistrusting of Hattie, I think they would get on really well, actually. And then Reina, and then Helra. For the, you know, gotta dock points for the religiousness.
Yeah.
Too religious for my taste.
I think if Kaya and Reina surpass the border of just religion, like if it goes beyond religion and goes into personality-wise, I think they could get along. But
I'm waiting for the moment when they have their first fight. I know it's coming. It'll come eventually.
It's coming.
Smell it in the air.
I'm curious what will trigger it.
Yeah.
Reina's also to Kaya. Reina feels like weirdly nosy for someone who doesn't share anything.
Yeah. I can see why. I can see why. She likes to know before she gives information. Yeah. She's an interesting character.
Now we come to Hattie.
Okay.
This is exciting.
This is exciting.
I'm very curious as to what the fuck Hattie thinks about any of this.
Okay, these things are fleeting, and because some of these
plotting to kill all of us.
She hates them all. Their death will come soon.
The fucking notebook you got is the death notebook. That's how you write our names in. It's just
That's the end.
Oh no, that's
You're
how
on
it
my
ends.
list.
Okay, so just as a heads up, this list changes depending on, whether someone, bought her a beer the night before, like
Small things.
it's fleeting and it doesn't really mean
It's a daily.
that
It's a
much.
daily hierarchy that changes.
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
A daily
Like,
point system.
She's the person who's like when asked what's your favorite color, it
Gives us
changes
golden
daily.
stars. It's
Yeah.
like a gold star on your chart.
Well, Snipe right now has 14 gold stars, but Seymour has 17. If Snipe gets 4 more by buying
Any
me a
argument
beer,
with Hattie metaphorically has to just like, don't let me take the star off your chart.
yeah,
Don't make me do it.
you'll regret
Don't make me do
it.
Yeah, this is exactly how it works. Or it is now. No, so what
shall
should I do
examine
this
the
in an
list.
order or okay, so let's do Seymour first. So Hattie thinks Seymour is
A C.
just like the handshakes that you have, which are like really floppy, and it feels like you're shaking a wet lettuce.
Yes.
Like I'm not
Yeah.
talking. I'm not talking about like a.
Feels
a
like you're. It feels
it's
like
a
you're
limp-
shaking a marigold rubber glove.
Yeah,
It's like
it's-
you've got no,
No grip,
Yeah.
no muscle, no, just
Yeah.
like
just a sneeze of a handshake.
Yeah.
Just,
Hattie thinks Seymour is the physicality of a limp handshake.
oh my. I can see why Dave isn't that sad about Seymour dying.
Now we know why he doesn't come on the podcast as well.
Dave just
You're
jumps
the
in
bully
right
this
now.
oh my god, that got me because that's really accurate. I can actually imagine it.
Like there's nothing wrong with him.
It's just.
Like as far as Hattie's aware, like there's nothing particularly wrong with him. He looks after Hattie. He stops her from doing stupid things occasionally, but laughs enough to make her not feel like an idiot. But he's just kind of there,
Yeah.
like
He's not done anything bad. He's just not really done anything.
yeah, like the party's not going to fall apart if he isn't there.
As demonstrated
As
by the
proven by the
Technicolor.
fact that we
And then
lost
again,
him.
and again,
And we
is
lost
that
him,
all
and we-
built up to the fact that every time something cool happens in a session, Dave's not there.
No.
He's not there at all.
Nope, and Seymour's incapacitated.
He's not. It will never. I'm sorry. Like I think this is just Seymour's actual curse. Is
Yeah.
that he's not.
But
allowed
when we get to
enjoy
Elturel, all
any-
hell breaks loose,
Yes,
and
the-
Dave is not here.
He's not there. Final battle in Elturel. Seymour.
Hello?
Yes, that
Any
How I
faints?
Met Your Mother curse, where every time you walk out of a room, something cool happens
Yeah.
to the people in
It's
those
fucking quasi solipsism.
Yeah.
When he leaves the room, everyone starts dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you miss one day at school and just something
You should-
happens.
How do you
He leaves the
change
room and he
Seymour's-
ceases to
Is
exist.
Dave watching this?
Dave, are you here?
He
He isn't.
How do
He
you-
isn't.
how do
No,
you
he's not.
sure-
Okay, but he'll probably watch it back.
He'll watch
You
it
watch
back,
it
Dave.
back.
I'm
change
so
the-
sorry.
He's going to kill us in Crimson Petal.
Oh yeah, he
How
got
do
the
you
revenge.
change his
Yeah, I
nickname?
can.
To change his nickname on your notebook to just Limp Handshake.
Two-Face limp handshake.
God, what did I call him?
You call him Two-Face, didn't
Yeah,
you?
Two-Face, I believe.
Two-Face Guardian, Two-Face Conqueror, Two-Face
No,
Commander.
I
can't
called him
remember.
like Captain or something.
Commander, yeah. Two-Face
Captain
Commander. I think
Two-Face.
it was.
No.
Hang on, I'll find it.
Captain
Yeah, that's
Two-Face.
Captain.
I
Okay,
wrote
so
them
for
down.
everyone who doesn't know, I, as like notes for Candlekeep, to protect the identity of the other people in the crew, Hattie is using code names which she made up for the other players, and apparently none of us can remember it off the top of our head. Hugs from
Of course
Brazil. I hope Brazil is doing well. I know kind of in that part of the world there is weird weather going on. I know it's America, but the Americas is the entire continent, and I hope you're doing okay and you don't get affected. I just knocked over some stuff by that horrible weather system. Here it is. Okay, so Kaya is Rising Phoenix, Seymour is Commander, Raina is dutiful freedom, and Snipe is deathless wanderer, which soon all of those things are going to
They're
be
coming
inaccurate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewrite
Yeah.
a lot of.
Yep.
So I need to change it
Deathless
from
Wanderer
commander
is so
to
cool.
limp.
Limp handshake, limp noodle.
Limp lettuce.
Limp lettuce.
My cabbages!
Oh my.
We're being so mean. Okay, but that's
This is
just,
why you show up to the podcast,
Yeah,
Dave, and we
this
can't
is
talk
why you
shit
come-
about you.
yeah. But no, so Hattie's kind of like it's nice that he's here.
It's a good
Good to
addition
have
to the
you.
team, but that's
Yeah.
it.
That's about it.
You know, it's like the
He
person
sure exists.
who
Yeah.
turns
He's
up
got
to
a
class.
he's got a nice dog now.
Yeah, he's like the person who turns up to lessons or like class or whatever, and they don't contribute to the discussion.
He's the guy who
Um,
hosts the house party, but everyone goes to the house party because they know their friends is going to the house
Yeah,
party.
yeah. Anyway, moving on from insulting Dave and his character.
I'm
gonna
looking forward
regret
to what
this in
kind of
Crimson Petal.
absolutely roasting opinion
Yep.
Hattie has of everyone else.
Just don't kill us.
No, we're gonna die in Crimson Petal, I'm
Um,
sure.
So, Kaya for Hattie is
No, a wet match. I was just thinking about the different ways where it's like, Snipe, their shadow was more interesting than they were.
Is this a roast? Our president's a piece of shit. It's like a worse version of Trump. Funny but tragic. Oh yeah, that's...
Ugh.
Sorry, that brought us down to reality pretty quick.
Yeah.
Agreed. I've had some stuff, and I'm in the privileged position of only having to hear about it occasionally. Anyway, Kaya is... I probably shouldn't brush that off because horrific things are happening. But Kaya... Kaya is like the older sister who Hattie thinks doesn't really care. But Hattie's like... Hattie wants to, like, be seen as cool by Kaya. Like, you know, that
Wants
kind
to
of
impress
older
her.
sister. Like, she wants the... Gosh, what's it called? Validation.
Yeah, the sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
to
No,
be
it's not even
validated.
rivalry. Like, she just wants to be told by Kaya that she thinks she's
She's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
Yeah.
It's great because, I mean, Kai also kind of sees Hattie as a little sister in some cases.
Aw.
In
That's
in
cool.
the few cases where she feels like she can trust Hattie, that's like the relationship she'd like to have with Hattie, but isn't
Yeah.
sure if she can.
That's the relationship that Hattie thinks they have. So like she likes Kaya, but because she thinks that she doesn't like her, she's kind of like, "Pff, I don't care.
Whatever.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, whatever. Who else is next on my list?
That was so nice in comparison to what you
Yeah,
said.
converse is just like, you are a family figure. You're my only like family member. And he was just like, yeah, you're a fucking.
You're all wet
Well,
handshake.
I'm
You're
a
a
wet
fucking
piece
wet
of
noodle
lettuce.
over there.
You are a clammy handshake of a CEO.
Oh no. Okay, moving on before Dave actually kills us in the other campaign.
He's gonna kick us out the Discord. He's just gonna say no. He's gonna
No, not happening.
unmod all of
Like, nope.
us.
Nope.
Nah.
We're gonna
Don't
turn
feel
up
like
to his
it.
stream later tonight, and he'll just be like, "Oh, what do you mean you guys aren't mods anymore? Must be a mistake in the system."
Well.
Gonna have to start googling things like how to ask to be unbanned.
How to say I'm sorry.
Yeah. Raina. Hattie doesn't really like she's holding a grudge because Raina was like, you can't stay quiet for a few hours. And Hattie's like, if you knew the things that I have done.
Don't you know who I
People
am?
that I have
You
killed.
know who I am. No, if No, she's just like, you don't know the things that I have had to do, the amount of self-control I've had to have, the responsibility that's been put on me. Just because the issue is that, like, for Hattie, it feels like Raina truly believes that Hattie isn't capable of being responsible, rather than just doesn't really want to be responsible. So she's holding a grudge. Next week it might be different.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Snipe, Hattie friggin' adores. Like,
Aw.
as far as Hattie is concerned, Snipe is like, at first, because like there was the weird, like, not really talking to each other, although it's obvious, like, Snipe's from like an alien place and like didn't really know what the deal was. It kind of felt like you were like this new toy that she got to poke all the time. And now she kind of feels like you like they're best friends, even though they're really not.
Yeah.
But she feels like if she wanted to go on
Friendship.
chaos.
Yeah.
Huh?
Friend-shaped.
Yeah.
And friendship.
Friendship. Yeah. Yeah, you're friendshiped.
Very elusively friendship. There's a fucking hooded figure.
Like Seymour, who's shaped like a wet piece of lettuce.
He's
Oh.
Never gonna let that go.
sister
So-
figure and a friend shape and a cabbage.
Oh, jeez. No, she thinks that if Hattie asked and there was time, Snipe would come adventuring with her, and that you guys would go cause chaos together.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what she thinks. Like, we're the bestest of friends, which maybe isn't true, but it's just Hattie's perspective on things. She's like, I slept near the bush that Snipe was sleeping in, therefore.
It's a
We're
symbol of
inseparable.
friendship. Yeah.
I was tolerated for an entire
Night.
trip.
Even when they're dreaming, they're asleep, they have tolerated me. Therefore, it is a good sign.
Um,
And you hail her.
you know what? I'm going to go back on the Seymour thing, because although currently he feels like a wet handshake, previously he has...
He's a regular handshake. Very firm, strong, firm grip handshake.
He was like, you know when you eat an apple and you can tell if you ate the apple a day later, it would be like gone off.
Yeah.
No.
Almost rotten fruits.
He's not
Wet
quite.
lettuce.
He's not quite
Almost rotten
useless.
fruit.
No, it's because
Giving him to food, which I think is even more.
Seymour's just this plate of food.
He's just...
And it
no. Because he gave her the piggyback rides and like sat on his shoulders for a while and like held onto his horns. She likes that and had like big brother feelings towards it. Not like big brother. I mean like he's a brother.
Oh shit.
you froze.
Don't be pressed.
No,
Didn't Frey
just repeat that last part.
sit on his shoulders,
Big
hold on
brother.
to
He's
his
a brother
horns.
figure who...
Not like big brother, like a big brother.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so mad I had to repeat that joke again.
Yeah.
So
A
mad.
very niche joke, I have to say. People who've read 1984 will get it.
Just like
Anyway.
everybody.
Yeah, everyone knows it, right? It's fine. But now he's wet lettuce. But I just wanted to go back and like it's a changing thing. It's constantly changing.
Evolving.
Helra,
Helra's the reason... You are the reason Helra's in this group is the thing, so I'm very interested to see what you're saying.
Hattie knows that no one will immediately like Helra, which is why Hattie invited them on the trip, so that
You wanted to
someone,
torture us?
so that someone was hated more than Hattie.
Oh my god!
She wanted. She didn't want to be
Cannon
chased.
fodder, come with me.
That's so sad.
Because the thing is, over time, I'm sure, like, as a player, over time, I'm sure we will, like, adore Hera as a character.
Yeah.
However,
Absolutely.
at the very beginning,
Yeah, we are characters that tolerate things very badly, but circumstances causes us to tolerate each other, even though we are intolerable to each other.
Right.
So Helaris entered probably the worst group of people to be with because there's so many things to check off a list, and it's an out of order list. It's not even on the same page.
yeah.
But she'll do it eventually
She
somehow.
hated for
But
Hattie.
that's like,
sad.
Hattie doesn't really care. Like, Hela's, as far as Hattie's concerned, Hela's just gonna be here to, like, slick
Join us on the ride.
the path between, like, making people, like, as far as she's concerned, if there's someone who is hated more than her, over time people will realize how great she is, and then she'll move up, like, the rankings of, like, liking people. Hattie is very indifferent to Hera, more so than Mr. Wet Handshake. But yeah. So is that everyone? I think that's
I
everyone.
wonder who that
Yeah.
offends more. Of just like saying to Seymour, "Oh, the reason I cherish you more is because I've known you the longest. You've been here
But,
for
like,
a while."
also previously he's been, like, a big brother figure.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, order, snipe. Number 1. Easy.
Absolutely.
Secondly, it was Reyna when we had that argument, but now it's Kaya, and then it's Reyna. And
Going up the rankings.
Then it's Seymour, and then it's Hera.
He's so low on everybody's
Oh,
list.
Yeah.
Apart
He's
from
like
Kaya.
last.
He's
Kaya's
a
the only
wet
reason he's here.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, I'm glad we answered that question.
Yeah, that took
was-
us.
that was-
Very curious
That took
as to
us-
what the fuck Dave says for Seymour for all
Yep.
this stuff.
Does he rewatch the podcast?
I don't
think
know.
so.
Well, he
I'm not
doesn't
sure.
watch actual campaigns he's
Yeah,
missed.
that's true.
So I don't
That's
think he's going to
true.
see this.
He's
fair,
never
neither
gonna
do
see
I.
this. We'll just never know to mention
Yeah.
this.
Well, that has taken us well over the allotted time for this podcast.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us.
Mhm.
Well,
Sorry for joining us.
We're sorry.
Yes, we're sorry.
it's 25
Janks and Dave,
to-
please don't kill us.
Yeah, Janks and Dave, don't.
You know what? We predicted this, didn't we? Because everything was going so well before, and we thought something's going to go wrong, and now it has gone wrong. We've now got invited death threats upon us.
Yeah. How am I doing the do?
Go raid
You know?
someone.
Raid someone. Yes.
Right.
Just someone.
Right. Weekends. We are about.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What else do we do on this show?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I remember how to end this podcast. I'm so good at it as well. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no smoke screen.
No screen.
No smoke screen.
Jenks is taking off for like a little while.
Saturdays is
Road Tales Run.
what we've just been talking about.
Yep.
Sundays.
Crimson Peaks.
Yeah. No, that's the film Petal.
We've been captured.
Were you making a joke and was my brain not functioning so much? Yes, okay. One day I will learn to communicate with people and that will be a brilliant day.
And that'll be.
But
when the
today is
pandemic
not
ends.
that day.
Today is not that day.
No, it's not this day.
Yeah, and then Wednesdays you once again get our brain cellless conversations
On the precipice of losing too many brains.
on the precipice of yes.
We've committed a crime this podcast, and we shall receive our punishment this weekend.
Yep.
Oh,
Come join
okay.
us to see what the punishment is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you Saturday.
Stay.
go fuck
I don't know if
yourself,
you're gonna
goodbye.
raid, but stay for the raid.
Yeah.